morning, Sam. It's lovely to meet you, and thank you for trusting our management consultation firm to assist Gone Cafe. Today we have Lachlan, Remy, Manon and myself meeting with you to address the current obstacles you're facing post-COVID, specifically in regards to high staff turnover and your management style. We have witnessed your attempts at targeting improvement through adjustment of rosters, revising procedures and your loyalty card system, which haven't succeeded to assist staff and customer retention. We have examined your current situation and are ready to help you with some solutions which we believe will positively assist the running of your business. First of all, are you ready to begin with the 2 issues we have identified?
So first, according to Tuxman's stages of team development, your cafe team cannot move past the early stages because people keep leaving. New staff are always forming, while existing staff get pushed back into storming, as roles and responsibilities are constantly changing. This means the team almost never reaches the performing stages where you could all work smoothly and efficiently together. Then, from a tailorist point of view, Gong uses very strict procedures and instructions. These rules can create short-term efficiency, but high turnover causes a loss of valuable practical knowledge. For example, new staff may not know how to multitask during busy hours or deal with unhappy customers politely. Laminated instruction sheets cannot replace this kind of experience, which leads to mistakes, slower service, and unhappy customers. Leadership theory tells us that good leaders adapt their style to the situations, but you have fallen into micromanagement, always stepping in to fix problems. High turnover makes this worse because staff are not confident or stable enough to work independently. Instead of focusing on bigger improvements, you are stuck managing small problems every day. This creates stress and risks, leading to burnout and stagnation. Finally, high turnover also has clear business costs. Constantly hiring and training new staff takes time, increases expenses, while productivity stays low.
Hey Sam, so sorry I couldn't join the group today in the presentation due to a conflict in schedule, but I'm here to present problem number 2 that we've identified to you. So problem number 2 we've identified as your management style, that being of an autocrat. And this has led to 3 deep-rooting problems such as high turnover, as previously mentioned by Manon, also inconsistencies within service quality, and general alienation between staff. So to kick us off with the alienation between staff, you generally design your workers' shifts as designating them into their own specific section, and giving them orders to not leave the section and not really interact with other members of staff. And this has led to alienation between staff members as they don't get to develop a relationship. And this is very evident within Sienna and Nate's relationship, as when we look deeper into that, they're always like, it's a very toxic relationship. They're always going back and forth, and new staff, due to your high staff turnover, you're going to have new staff. These new staff are obviously less trained compared to Sienna and Nate, who are your best workers. And when, let's say that they're asking a question, they will look to the most experienced workers, Sienna and Nate, and when they do, they're startled. They don't want to ask the questions, and this has led to just in general a toxic work environment due to your management style, that being of an autocrat. Secondly, the work environment in general can also lead to the high staff turnover, as these new workers don't get to create a bond with one another and create a deep rooting connection with your establishment. And this has also been detrimental to the business, as you're not able to keep staff around, which leads to the inconsistencies within quality, let alone the high staff turnover.
Sam, we advise you to implement greater direct communication with staff members, which, inspired by Mary Parker Follett and her social justice approach, will help to build stronger connections with staff members and become an approachable leader. It is recommended that Gone Cafe becomes a democratic workplace where staff feel involved in decision-making, which boosts long-term retention. Starting with feedback loops, specifically through monthly staff meetings or individual appraisals, is a way to build individual confidence through constructive feedback and providing a commitment to a regular training opportunity. This will create an informal training opportunity and allow new staff members to have more training time rather than 1 to 2 shifts shadowing a senior staff member. According to the Jobs and Skills Australia Recruitment Experiences and Outlook Survey 2024, the reasons that staff members require replacement is 31% the nature of the job, and employees getting bored or lack commitment 25%, which would help you, Sam, to understand the importance of taking time to listen to your staff as they may express progressive ideas to improve the efficiency of the goods delivery at Gone Cafe. Exit interviews are another specific way to build democratic collaboration, to learn about both the strengths and weaknesses of the manager and organisation. Similar answers from employees is an indication that change within the business needs to occur, whether that be the leadership style demonstrated by yourself or the logistics of Gone Cafe. The value of exit interviews is supported by a study from Spain and Grosberg 2016, where an executive looked at the exit interviews of 4 employees who had resigned and discovered that they all stated the manager lacked critical leadership skills. At Gone Cafe, exit interviews would support Mary Parker Follett's democratic insight that authority comes from expertise, as opposed to rigid hierarchy. Together, feedback loops and exit interviews will not only reduce turnover, but create a strong synergy where staff feel supported and connected to the success of Gone Cafe.
Now, Sam, the second approach involves changing Gone Cafe's management structure because it operates within an autocratic system where you make all the choices without consulting staff members. Now, the current management approach shows that it leads to high employee turnover, service delivery irregularities, and reduced staff motivation. And one of our proposed solutions is the adoption of Mary Parker Follett's democratic management principles at Gone Cafe. And it will establish a new operational framework which grants decision-making power to staff members based on their expertise rather than their job titles. The management team at Gone Cafe should grant Sienna and Nate full operational freedom because of their deep understanding of the business. The second vital element of this approach requires decision-making participation from all team members. According to Follett, decision-making participation from those who execute decisions lead to better results and increased dedication. Gone Cafe probably needs to reschedule recurring staff meetings, which allow all team members to join in important discussions about service problems and procedure development. Now, the third vital element requires problem solving through integration instead of domination. Staff members should work together to create complete solutions instead of having Sam impose his own solutions. The solution development process for service fee problems needs to include contributions from both front of house and kitchen staff members. Now, there's a study from Al Ababner that shows the hospitality organisations achieve better employee job satisfaction through democratic leadership approaches, which also reduce employee departure intentions. Now, that evidence-based method at Gone Cafe will convert their strict operational rules into adaptable guidelines which staff will embrace because they comprehend them, thus enhancing their involvement and enhancing the service delivery quality. The implementation process demands Sam to move away from operational control and adopt a coaching role while granting substantial authority to staff members and establishing feedback systems. A cultural shift towards shared understanding instead of strict procedures will increase employee departures while preserving organisational stability. In conclusion, the issues most prominent to Gone Cafe we have identified in excess includes the high staff turnover issue as well as the management style. Our proposition to the first issue outlines that we recommend greater communication with staff members using Follett's framework, with monthly staff meetings and exit interviews if needed. In terms of the second issue, implementation of democratic leadership style, also Follett's, involves varied power of decision-making of all employees and utilising the power of integrating employees rather than micromanaging them and dominating. These recommendations provide a valuable action plan for cohesive growth and organisational success.
As a consultative firm, we are beyond confident that our recommendations may prove applicable to your business.
Hey, hang in there. We know you're going above and beyond for this. From our whole team, we wish good luck, and we'll reach out soon to see how you are progressing. I'll give you this general action plan on paper, so just let us know about anything you want to clear up. Thank you for your time.